Okay, and then next we have a new launch, I guess, in TanStack Start, which is essentially TanStack. If you know about them, they did like TanStack Router, also React Query. They kind of took over as well, now called TanStack Query, I believe. And TanStack Start is basically their full library, kind of similar to Next.js, for launching like full service websites. And they have a new launch, which is a good idea, obviously, which is that you can stop server-only code from leaking into the client and client-only code from leaking into the server, traces the full import chain, and provides fixes and suggestions. My kind of solution now to this is like, I definitely make sure that files aren't exporting more than they need to. So if you have like a constant inside of a server file that has a ton of stuff, I make sure not to export it from there. I do think with tree shaking, it might actually be able to still like get rid of the code that's not needed for the export. But in terms of like mental model at the very least, I do like isolating these constants or these functions that get exported and are shared between client and servers, just so that that code specifically is only necessary in the place that it's used. But things can slip in, and like that's where like linting and possibly whatever they're working on here is very important. And you don't want to expose server code to the client. Obviously, even like environment variables, I know with like T3 env, you have to build in a specific way so you don't expose the names of your environment variables to the client. So just as much security as you can get, the better. So pretty cool if you're working on TanStack Start. I'm still pretty much on the Next.js wave or on the Expo web wave for multi-full stack. I haven't fully built something that does Expo mobile and Expo web, but I do think that's the future because you kind of have a solo code base. But if you're building like a web-specific web app, then TanStack Start is definitely a big competitor with Next.js. And I believe T3 Chat is actually using it. So that's a huge client, that you can kind of take inspiration from.